What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and I am here tonight with a review for Love After Lockup Season 3, Episode number 2, and the episode is titled Bad at Being Good. You guys, this episode, wow. It's just hard to believe that you can find more people that Love After Lockup keeps finding people season after season that are just dumb and gullible. Because they fall for the bullshit. Also, you guys, if you guys did not see, Life After Lockup returns in September, and they are on lockup. They were on lockdown with this quarantine. I am so excited to see what happens with Angela and Tony, because you guys saw in the preview, Angela had that bat to Tony. I'm excited for it. And then the fact that Sarah said that she might be pregnant again. You dumbass. Let's get into this episode review. All right, you guys, so let's start up with Scott and Lindsey. Can somebody explain to me what is up with Scott's lip? I didn't notice it last week. I was watching everybody else's reviews. I was watching Ashley's review last week, Brittany's review last week, Jay Lee's review last week. Like, everybody mentioned the lip. And I was watching it on my phone, so I didn't really notice everything last week on my phone, because you guys remember I was out of town. But this week I really noticed it. It's like it looks like a bee went up to his lip and just stung him in the lip, and it just the stinger is just stuck in there. Like, God, it's just swollen. It just bothered me. But Scott is preparing to go get his girl from prison. And, he has, when he was talking about them pants, I'm like, Scott, we don't want to hear about this. He bought her a phone, and he said everything totaled up to be about $2,500. I'm just like, God damn, can I find somebody that is as stupid as Scott and is as dumb as Sean, which we're going to talk about Sean's dumb ass a little bit later. But, God, can I find somebody as gullible as them? So, like I said, he's getting ready to go pick up Lindsey from prison. So he's going to go meet her daughter. I think her name is Miley. And he's going to meet her mom. Well, actually, it's her grandmother. But she raised her as her daughter. And, we got a little bit of backstory about, Scott. We did find out that he's bought her daughter school clothes. I mean, that's I'm not going to judge him for that. Because I really don't see anything wrong with him buying the child's school clothes. But once we got a little bit of backstory about Scott, I'm like, I don't mean this in an offensive way by no means. But we found out that Scott's son, he died in 2017 in a car accident. And I was like, okay, so this whole situation with Scott, it makes a little bit more sense. And I was like, honestly, I think Scott needs to go to therapy. I'm just going to keep it real with you. I think he needs to go see a therapist. Because I'm wondering if, him being with Lindsey and her daughter is to fill a void in his heart for where his son is. Like, I really think Scott needs some help. Now, here's a question that I do have about Lindsey. Actually, somebody just tweeted me some stuff about Lindsey, her using the N-word. I ain't here for that shit. Now, speaking of Lindsey, the one thing that I'm noticing about Lindsey and Quaylon, whichever one his name is, because he says, what does he say his name is? Quaylon or Quaylon? I think he says his name is Quaylon, but Chevelle says Quaylon. See, I don't even know this nigga's name, and that's sad. I don't know the nigga's name, but we'll get it at some point. Somebody will get his name right. But what was I talking about? Lindsey. Is she still in jail? Because I'm so confused about Lindsey, because all of her interviews are from prison. And I know in last week's episode she was talking about the coronavirus. So I'm like, is she still in jail? Did she ever get out? Or if she got out, did she go right back to jail for something stupid again? Child, meth is a hell of a drug. And to me, it seems like a white people drug. Am I the only person that gets that vibe? Like, for real. I'm whispering that. I hope you guys can hear that in the microphone. I'm whispering that because my neighbor is white, and I don't want to be rude or offensive, but is it? And anybody who watches me that's white, please don't take offense to that. But I just don't see too many black people doing meth. I mean, you find some here and there, but it's far and few between. So I just had that question. All right, so let's move on, you guys. Next up, let's discuss John and Christiana. John and Christiana. John is a whole delusional man. I mean, when he was talking about he's part Indian last week, I'm like, what tribe are you part of? The Nunya tribe? You ain't got none in you. Oh, you guys, speaking of, I'm still waiting on my ancestry. Like I did ancestry the end of June and they received it on July 1st and it still says that it's processing. So I don't know how long the ancestry thing takes, but I will be getting my results hopefully soon. Shit. But John is getting ready to go pick up his girl Christiana from prison, and he's doing this in style. He has rented out a limousine. I'm just like, wow, you're going all out to pick a woman up from prison. Okay, wouldn't be me, but I mean, it really wouldn't be me. But if that's what he wants to do, I am not here to judge him by no means. Now, I will say, the only thing that I will judge is how tacky and tasteless he is. Why did he have this shirt on with them ugly ass tassels on it? I'm like, dude, you think you're Elvis or something? But, he's laying out his plan. So they're going to go drop off the truck, the makeshift truck for, the wedding at a park. They're going to take the limo, limo driver, going to go pick up Christiana. He's going to propose to Christiana right then and there. She's going to go with him back to his makeshift altar, get married. And then he put up like a little curtain. He put up like almost like my green screen. He put something up like this. I know you guys can't see the green screen, but he put up something similar to my green screen. Talking about, he don't want the cops to see them. I'm like, ugh. John is delusional. Delusional. And then, on his way to get her from prison, he's telling us the fact that, she's told him that she loves him, but she's not in love. She's not in love with him yet because they haven't done the do. And I'm just like, so you're gonna sit here, ask her to marry you, but she is not in love with you. How much sense does that really make, John? Not a lick of sense. So then she, they wait for a few minutes. Then she finally does come out of the prison. Now, in the scene, her voice was a little deep in the scene, but man, when the producers were talking to her voice was deep as fuck. I'm like, is this a man? No shade, but her voice was as deep as my voice is, and that's a problem. I'm like, man, this looks like a man. No shade. Again, none whatsoever. Let us move on. All right, you guys, next let's talk about Jessica and Maurice. Looking at this on my actual TV is different than watching it on my phone. Because when I was looking at Jessica, I'm like, God damn, she look old as fuck. It says she's 33 on the screen, but 33? More like 53? Because she looks like somebody's grandma, no shade. She looks like somebody's grandmother. And again, that is no shade to grandmothers out there, but Jessica looks old. She looks a little bit long in the tooth. So like with the rest of the couples, she's going to get her husband from prison. Now, she said that they haven't, they've been married for 4.5 years. She hasn't saw him in the last 2 years because he got into some trouble in prison. I think she said what he got in trouble for, but I couldn't get past. First of all, I couldn't get past her old ass looking face. Then I couldn't get past that dress she had on. I'm like, that looks like a wet seal, city trends, rainbow. That looked like one of them dresses you buy from there to go to the club. And then the fact that she had that brown, that nude bra on. I'm like, girl, why can't we just input something? Why can't we just get something to support? I mean, because it really did look bad. Like you got these straps here, and then you got this bra strap going up. I'm just like, God damn, Jessica. But again, I couldn't get over her goddamn face, how old she looks in the face. Jessica looks old as fuck. So then Jessica also dropped another bombshell that, before she and what's his name again, y'all? Maurice. Before she and Maurice got married, he was talking to another girl, and this is before he proposed to her. He had never saw the girl, but I think the girl was just sending him money. I'm like, damn. To get somebody that gullible, do I need to go to prison? No shade, but do I need to go to prison to get somebody to send me 5,000? Just send me thousands of dollars? Because it's crazy that people actually send inmates thousands of dollars. What are they gonna do with it? What are they doing with it? Seriously. Because I don't think, you know what? I don't know how much common serious stuff is, so I'm not gonna say. Because I know like them vending machines in prison, they are expensive as shit. So I mean, if the vending machines are expensive, I'm pretty sure commissary is expensive. But goddamn, to send a person, buku thousands and thousands of dollars, could not be me. Could not. But again, and I have in my notes once I already said it, but I wasn't understanding that dress that she had on. Just was not understanding it whatsoever. So when he came out, he saw her, he hugged her, he kissed her. This fool. He was trying to use the word exuberant, but he made up his own words. He sounded like T.I. Clifford Harris. He said exuberated. I'm like, that's not a word. Because I was confused as to what he was trying to say for the long. I was like, I had to rewind that twice. I'm like, he said exuberated. I was like, did he mean exacerbated? But I'm like, that's not the word he wants to use. But then she corrected him. She said exuberant. I'm like, oh. He done made up his own. The brand of stupidity with these people. God. And he's a crip. Let's move on. Lord Jesus. Chevelle and Quaylen, or Quaylan, whichever one that little nigga's name is. Chevelle. Girl. I don't know I really 100% do not know what to say about Chevelle. There is something wrong with her. I will say, however, that her daughter is so cute. Cute little girl. But the mama is just about as dumb as a box of motherfucking rocks. Or she's just desperate, one of the two. But there's literally something wrong with Chevelle. So her mom is coming to get the little girl because, Chevelle is just like with the other couples, getting ready to go get Quaylan, whatever the hell his name is. So her mom is sitting down talking to her, and, her mom is like, she just doesn't want her to be disappointed. And, she raised her to have morals, values, and, to, rely on and depend on God. So she says, at this point, you're going to be on your own. So you gotta pull from the stuff that I taught you as a kid growing up to be an adult. I got that. I'm cool with that. What I'm not cool with is the fact that Chevelle, she told us this goddamn dumbass story about the fact that she fell in love with Quaylan, whatever his name is, because she fell in love with him when he sent her daughter a birthday card. I'm like, so that's all it took was a birthday card for you to fall in love with him? And then the fact that she said her daughter calls him daddy, calls him her dad. I'm like, oh my God, can this get any worse? You allow your child to call a man. She has, I really hope she's never met this man in prison. But as stupid as Chevelle seems, I would not be surprised if she asked Quaylen to put him on her visitation list so that way he can meet her. I just, honestly, God, you guys, I would not be surprised about that shit, not one bit. But girl, you dumb as fuck. You fell in love with him because he sent her a birthday card. And then you have her calling him, she says it's her dad. What the fuck does her real dad think about? Like, what does her biological father think about that? God, how do y'all bring men around y'all's kids that y'all don't really know like that? Like, I question Chevelle, and I actually kind of question Lindsey. I mean, Scott seems like a good guy, but I'm not gonna have my child around someone that I have never, like, hung out with for hours and hours. Like, no. And then Chevelle gets even dumber because she's meeting Quaylen's mom because she's going with her to pick him up. And like she's never met this woman before, and I'm just like, how are you in love with him, but you've never met his mama? So that means you don't know anything about him, basically. He's a mystery to you, but you in love with him? God damn. So, she picks up the mama. They get in the car and they're talking about, I think she dropped the bombshell on the mama that, Quaylen, whatever the fuck his name is going to be staying with her in Kansas City. The mom was like, no, he's not. He's coming to Houston to stay with me. That's the reason why I moved out there, because I don't want him to get out of prison, come back here to Kansas City, and be around the same influences that put him in jail in the first place. She was like, well, he said that y'all had a conversation about that. She says, well, we did not have a conversation about it. And she says, if I have to, I will get my son and walk right out of there with him. And I believe the mama. Believe the mama. Let us move on. All right, you guys, and then the last couple. I don't know which couple's worse. I don't know. When it comes down to the couples that I think are the dumbest, it's 3 of them so far, because there's 2 couples we haven't met yet, and I don't know when we're going to meet those 2 couples, but there are 2 couples that we have not met. It's the older black guy, and it's older black guy, and I think it's another white couple. I can't remember, but I know there's 2 couples we haven't met. There's 2 couples we still have not met yet. But of the couples that we do know, my top 3 for the most stupid is going to be Chevelle and Quaylen. Actually, scratch Quaylen. It's going to be Chevelle. It's going to be Sean, and it's going to be Scott. Those 3 are the dumbest. I don't know how to rank them because I feel like last week I had Scott at the top. I had Chevelle in the middle. Nope, no. I had Scott at the top. I had Sean in the middle. Then I had Chevelle at the bottom. This week it's flipping. It's flipped. I have Sean at the fucking top because he's a complete dumbass. Then I got Chevelle's dumbass in the middle, and then I got Scott at the bottom. But with Chevelle and Sean, those 2 are teeter-tottering with each other because they are both equally dumb. Just putting that out there, equally stupid. So Sean, he calls up what's her name? Destiny. Tells Destiny like, hey babe, I went to the bail bondsman and guess what? I mean, after going over your extensive rap sheet, you're gonna get out tomorrow. And, he was like, but I just have some problems, because that $5,000 is non-refundable. And, if you have to go to court or whatever, or if you flee, I'm out $500,000. And she is a true con artist because, she was like, I've changed as a person. Because if I hadn't changed, you wouldn't be talking to me. Excuse me? Squeeze me? Run that by me one more time. What was that you said? And, she was talking about, she want to prove. And, I'm sorry. Sean is dumb. I wouldn't have bailed her out with $5, let alone 5,000, let alone even 500. Her rap sheet, she has fled. She's proven that she might be a flight risk, but you still want to do this. Why? You've never met her. You haven't had sex with her. And, she's talking about she's gained 20 pounds, but she want to look good for him. No. And then here's a scene that really topped the cake for me with Sean. So Sean met up with I thought this was his ex-wife, but nope, it's just his ex-girlfriend that he's been with off and on for 22 years, and they got 6 kids. She is stupid in herself, Kelly. Like, girl, after the first child, I would have never, after the first 2, maybe 3, no. After the first 2, we would have been done. But you sat around and had 6 kids with him, and you was with him for 22 years. Dumb as shit. But Kelly did make some sense. She was like, when he told her about Destiny and her living with her, she was like, wait a minute. My kids are not going to be around that woman. I don't know her. I've never met her. Now, you can't, just because people do stuff in their past, don't hold that against them. Now, the fact that she's done drugs, I do have a problem with that. And then even looking at her picture, whichever side it's on, it might be over here, I don't know. But looking at her fucking picture that WeTV has, she looks, them drugs have done a number on her. She's 28, 27, and she looks older than that. Like, this right here is 31. This is 31. Although people confuse me for my late 20s, mid to late. People always think that I'm people think when, every time I tell people I'm in my 30s, no one believes me. They think, because I have a friend I used to work with, she was like, I thought you was my age. I'm like, how old are you? She's like, I'm 25. I'm like, girl, but this was like 2 years ago. I'm like, no, I'm not 25. I'm like, I'm older than 25. But yeah, people still think that I'm in my 20s. And actually, I have a picture of myself when I was 21. I look the exact same. The only difference between 21 and 31 is that I've just put on a little bit more weight. Put on some weight. That's it. That is the only difference between 21-year-old me and 31-year-old me, is just a weight gain, which I'm trying to lose this weight that I've gained. But, what was I at? I got sidetracked. Talking about how old Destiny looks in the face. Oh yeah, I was talking about Kelly. How truly stupid she is. Dumb as shit. But she made some sense. Oh, that's where we were at. Not judging people based on their past. Now I'm about to judge the shit out of Sean. So Sean, you are okay with spending $5,000 on Destiny, but here you are in Plato's fucking Closet, which is a goddamn consignment stores, thrift store, whatever you want to fucking call it, where people take their old clothing that they don't want anymore and sell it. So you got your daughter in here buying her some used fucking clothes. They might be in good condition. I'm not judging. And I'm not judging because I used to work at Goodwill, and Goodwill actually has some nice stuff, so, believe it or not. But you got your daughter in a consignment store, thrift store, whatever you want to call it. That is ridiculous as fuck. Like, Sean ought to be ashamed of himself. And then on top of that, if you look at his bottom row teeth, I know my teeth ain't perfect, but if you look at his bottom row goddamn teeth, like, he got his top row teeth done, but the bottom row still looks like they spaced out, just, God, Sean is a dumbass. So Kelly is not, like I said, Kelly's not here for the relationship. And he told his daughter, I think her name is Gracie or some shit like that. And he told her, and I really did feel bad for that little girl because she started crying because she felt like he was trying to build a new family with what's her name, Destiny. I'm thinking to myself, baby girl, you don't have to worry about that because all she's doing is using your daddy for his money. And even she figured it out. Like, I think she might be using my dad, but your dad is stupid. How are you doing all this shit for a woman you ain't ever met? Oh God, you guys. That's it for Love After Lockup this week. Be sure to like this video, leave your comments, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification button so you guys are aware of when I drop anything else. Also, you guys share this video, and into the next one, do me a favor, you guys stay safe, take care of yourselves, stay hydrated out there, and I will see you guys in the next one. You guys, I'm thinking about reviewing Love and Marriage Huntsville. We'll see. But later.